We live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster.
Control feels like a misnomer. You might be the newly appointed director of the Federal Bureau of Control, aka the FBC, but Remedy's latest game isn't about feeling like you're on top of things. In fact, the whole reason you found yourself at the oldest house, the FBC headquarters, is that everything has gone, to put it bluntly, to shit. With Control, it feels like you've been dropped straight in the middle of a thrilling TV show season. You know that things have happened and there is more drama yet to come, but you're somewhere in the centre of it all. The pieces of story float around you on a sea of intrigue, and it's just a case of figuring out how to best bring them all together. You play as Jessie Faden, a woman who's clearly not had the easiest life so far, but has managed to stumble across the FBC with a little help. She walks into the FBC's lobby off of the streets of New York as you would with any other building. As the automated glass door slides shut behind her, you can see the people of New York living their lives. A yellow taxi with its lights still on drives by, a couple of folk wait for the bus sheltered under the stop from the rain, but that's pretty much the last time you see anything normal in Control. Yes, there are still some unaffected members of staff that hide in rooms of the oldest house, but as Jessie says as she walks into the FBC, the room is not the world is much bigger and much stranger. You rarely get a game setting so intriguing as the oldest house. The lobby may look straightforward enough, akin to so many official buildings with its imposing front desk and stately lettering, but beyond that lies a twisting, turning beast that moves of its own accord. It's fighting against an invasion of a thing known as the Hiss, which is taking over the oldest house's inhabitants and slowly infecting its concrete architecture and blocky yet beautiful corridors with swathes of red. Both in terms of the regularly levitating, always glowing humans and the pulsating blocks that emerge through doorways, it's a space that's moving, changing, and constantly surprising you. That doesn't make it the easiest place to navigate though, meaning you'll have to heavily rely on the unhelpful map, which merely shows you the general locale of your destination, and the physical signs plastered on the walls inside the building itself. There's not a waypoint in sight in Control, which only serves to add to the sense of delirious unpredictability that threads through the entire experience. Of course, that means it does come with a healthy dose of frustration, as just getting from A to B may have you retreading ground over and over again to find that one door you've missed that opens up another area. Building mystery and intrigue is just part of Remedy's DNA, and Control feels like Remedy at its best. Its best experience with as little knowledge as you can going in, but what we will say is that it manages to create a surreal narrative that's capable of making even the ordinary strange, making your standard handgun into a shape-shifting omni-tool, and managing to inject life into an office block. It does all that and casually gives you one of the best gameplay experiences at the same time. Losing control is part of it, but as Jessie gains more abilities drawn from the objects of power, you begin to gain a superhero-like status, levitating your way through the oldest house and pulling slabs of concrete from the walls, only to launch them straight into Hiss agents with the force of a freight train. Mastering all of the various abilities is a huge power trip, adding to the already sky-high appeal of Control. Whether it's the tension that's expertly drawn across the entire length of the game, or the constant surprises you're thrown as you navigate the oldest house, it's clear that Control is a game that'll be talked about for decades. Like Alan Wake, its ability to play out like some of the best TV series, moving from combat to exploration to story beats seamlessly, is a sight to behold and makes every minute a fraught joy. And it's polished. Playing it on an Nvidia RTX graphics card with ray tracing is out of this world. It's packed with suspense and never stops feeding you clues and hints to the bigger picture. And that's even without touching on the characters that Jessie meets that have managed to survive the events occurring in the oldest house. Whether it's the clearly hyper-intelligent Emily Pope of the research department, or the janitor who clearly knows more than he's letting on, the production value is high. Quantum Break levels of high that'll have you inspecting the lines on Jessie's face as she talks, or marvelling at Pope's seriously long eyelashes. The narratives and its characters are complex, morally ambiguous, and sometimes downright odd, and we're so on board with every one of them. The only criticism from us is that it feels unfinished. There are questions left unanswered, and the ending came more quickly and abruptly than we would have liked. Remedy has always struggled to finish its stories, and Control is yet another victim in this. But make up your own mind, because no matter what you think of the ending, a game like this is a glorious rarity. Don't do yourself a disservice by reading any more into Control, go in unaware and revel in its madness and strangeness. And never take a corridor at face value, as that's the best way to serve up and take back Control. We give it 4.5 stars.